With every update that Riot Games releases to its tactical shooter game Valorant comes a change to the meta. The latest patch shuffled mid-tier agent picks, but the S-tier agents remain relatively the same. So how do the agents stack up now? Who is the best of the best? What's up guys, welcome to another video. If you're new here, we love dropping great tips, top 10s, and highlights on our channel. We are quickly growing and we appreciate all of our subscribers. If you're not already subscribed and you like the content, be sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on post notifications by clicking or tapping that bell. Make sure to give this video a like and share it with friends. I'm Jess for Top Viral Gaming, and now let's get into the video. Today we are revisiting our Valorant Agents tier list. The last time we did this, we saw all of the comments about how many of you felt we got it wrong, so we're revisiting the list. For these rankings, we'll be taking into account the latest buffs and nerfs patch 1.08 brought to the game, how dominant an agent is, and how often they're picked in professional Valorant tournaments. The first agent we're going to look at is Breach. Breach is one of the best engagers in the game, because his abilities can go through walls and other terrain which helps disrupt and disorient enemies. Playing against Breach can drive you insane when you're stunned for 40 seconds straight, as his kit has a wide variety of CC tools that can blind, knock up, and stun. He gained an extra charge for his flashes, which were also buffered, and his ultimate now has faster detonation blasts. In addition to this, his concussion now descopes agents and prevents them from rescoping. This gives Breach a unique and valuable tool in meta where operators have felt dominant. Teams will now have more options besides smokes as counterplay against OPers. With these changes, Breach has re-established himself as one of the best, if not the best infiltrator, and he has a unique niche of being able to counter operators in a meta where people think ops are OP. Although Breach really shines as an offensive initiator, he's no slouch as his abilities can be used to delay and deter enemies as a defender. And the last point I want to cover with Breach is his ultimate, Rolling Thunder. It will also be more effective with a decreased delay between its blasts. There is so much to love with Breach, and for that, he's going in the S tier. Now let's take a look at Brimstone. For those players who prefer to have a straightforward game plan, Brimstone is one hell of an agent. His kit alone has the capacity to take over or hold any site. Post-plant, Brimstone has become one of the key agents who can clutch around from far away. Brimstone is one of the most well-rounded agents in the game due to his versatile set of abilities that allows him to shine whether on offense or on defense. Two of his abilities involve opening up his minimap to strategically place smokes and airstrikes, so he rewards players with proficient map knowledge. Brim has a very well-rounded ability kit in the game, making him incredibly valuable on both offense and defense. No other agent can place multiple long-range smokes safely and simultaneously, making him a valuable asset for making executes run smoothly. We've seen how valuable he can be in recent tournaments due to his ability to single-handedly win rounds with his long-lasting molly and ultimate to deny defuses. Unfortunately, he's been losing some favor due to the cost increase to his ultimate and as Omen has risen as a competitor. He's no longer a top-tier agent, but still very good. We're going to place him in the B tier. Next up, let's do Cypher. Cypher has been pretty much at the top since the release of the game. Gathering information safely is crucial in Valorant, and Cypher is top of his class in that regard. Cypher controls the flow of battle by using his arsenal of spy gadgets to gather intel for his team and trap enemies. His kit offers unique strengths, such as being able to solo hold a site with his gadgets while influencing other parts of the map with his spy cam. On both sides of the map, his tripwires go a long way to shut down enemy flankers and lurkers, giving his team much more safety and assurance than others can. Despite not dealing any damage, his abilities can dominate the battlefield with the sheer amount of utility they offer. Most of his gadgets can be recalled and placed elsewhere, so Cypher really rewards players who are able to plan ahead and adapt. Since the launch of the game, he's easily been S tier, and since he hasn't changed since, he continues to stay there. The next agent up is Jett. Jett's maneuverability and ability to disappear make her a fantastic hit-and-run pick. Jett has one of the highest skill ceilings in the game because her kit focuses more on mobility than utility. She forces players to dig deep and focus on aiming, and excels in 1v1 combat, skirmishes, and flanking due to her outplay potential. Establishing herself as the premier duelist of the game, she is the best OP'er in the game, has incredible clutch or ace potential with her ultimate, and provides a surprising amount of utility with her smokes since she can set up instant one-ways. Jett can at once be an excellent option for holding the operator in Valorant, and at the same time act as an OP counter agent. On maps like Haven and Bind, Jett is in her element. Peeking Heaven or Hookah might be a lousy option for opponents. It shouldn't be surprising that the likes of Tens, Radell, and Mixwell, who are mechanically gifted fraggers, have made her a frequent choice in pro play. Her high-risk, high-reward playstyle can allow her to take over a match, but she can also be a liability in the hands of an inexperienced player. We're 4 agents in, and we've already got 3 in the S tier. Let's go ahead and put Jett in there with Brimstone and Cypher. Alright guys, now let's take a look at Killjoy. Killjoy has a very unique skill set as she's the only sentinel with abilities that have kill power. Her playstyle can be compared to that of a mix of Cypher and Raze because she utilizes a wide array of gadgets placed around the map with explosive potential. She's extremely powerful in post-plant situations since she can make retakes difficult and deny defusals from across the map. When Killjoy was first released, many players thought she would establish herself as an S-tier agent. It turns out that while she definitely has very distinct strengths, she also has defined weaknesses that you can play around, such as anticipating where her gadgets are and destroying them. We've seen players trying her as a replacement as Sage and Cypher and even in triple sentinel comps, but she still isn't quite as good as they are. We'll have to see what she looks like when she's finally enabled for pro play, but we know that a lot of teams have been scrimming with Killjoy, so we're putting her as B tier for now. Here's the agent a lot of you felt we totally underestimated on our last tier list. Although there were no tweaks for Omen, the agent was disbanded for a few days due to a minor glitch. After returning, Omen seems to be as powerful as ever. Omen has solidified himself as an S-tier agent due to his ability to fit into nearly any team comp on any map. He is an agent that thrives by operating in the shadows, using trickery and misdirection to dominate his opponents. His paranoia has become one of the best non-ultimate engages in the game and is definitely on the nerf radar in some capacity. With 2 different teleportation abilities, he's able to slip through the cracks for a flank or escape from the clutches of death where other agents could not. Lastly, his free and unlimited smokes are especially useful in long-lasting rounds, especially after the enemy team has spent most of their utility. From Shadow Walk to his ultimate, it is not at all predictable for opponents to keep an eye on Omen. That makes him one of the most efficient controllers in Valorant, ahead of Brimstone and Viper. We recently released our Ultimate Omen guide. You can watch the video by clicking or tapping the card that's on the screen. What do you guys think of our list so far? Agree with us? Make sure to hit that like button to let us know. Comment down below with which agents you think we got right and which ones we got wrong. Now let's go over Phoenix. He's an explosive Pyromancer who excels at infiltrating combat for his team. He has one of the most useful ultimates due to his ability to allow him to safely infiltrate and gather information. The rest of his kit is very versatile with self-healing, vision denial with Blaze, and spike denial with Molly, but he can struggle on defense sometimes. Be sure to pair him with Omen or other smokes to maximize the effectiveness of his flashbangs. Otherwise, it can be easier to avoid at higher levels of play. He can use his flames to not only manipulate the battlefield, but also heal himself. With a ton of offensive options, he's one of the best 1v1 fighters among the Valorant agents. I wouldn't say he's S tier like Omen, Jett, Cypher, and Brimstone, but he's definitely A tier. Patch 1.08 affected Raze the most. Her entire kit is based on destruction. The recent change with the Blast Pack has forced Raze players to trade that for mobility. She excels in chaotic situations, so she can have trouble against patient and coordinated play. Raze has the most damage abilities of all of the Valorant agents, making her an ideal entry fragger. With an arsenal that includes cluster grenades, detonating packs, and even an exploding robot on wheels, she excels in sieging on offense and making enemies think twice about approaching on defense. Her explosives are particularly useful against Sage or Cypher's abilities since she can destroy their abilities from afar. She's a fine pick on most maps, but she's particularly good on Bind since you can send her boombot and grenades through the teleporters to defend multiple areas, such as helping to defend Hookah while being near A short. Now, if someone told me that Raze is S tier, I wouldn't really argue it, but I'd still like to see a little more from her before I go ahead and place her there on our list. Let's put Raze in the A tier for now. Next up is Reyna. Although Reyna certainly provides a high ceiling for pop-off potential, she can be a feast or famine due to needing kills to fuel her QE usage. She can dominate at lower levels of play, but she can struggle against coordinated play as you climb the ranks since enemy teams will be better at trading. Don't let that discourage you though. Although she is rare in pro play, she does get used by top players like Tens and Scream. Since 2 of her abilities require kills to be used, she has a very high-risk, high-reward playstyle. No other agent can match her ability to clutch in very tough situations, so if you excel in those situations, she may be the agent for you, especially if you're queuing solo. For me, Reyna is towards the bottom of B tier. She's not as good as Killjoy and not quite as good as 2 other agents who we'll have in there soon. One of those agents is Sage. Sage took massive hits to most areas of her kit with nerfs during patch 1.07. To start off with, her heal on allies was reduced from 100 to 60 health over 5 seconds, while her self-heal was reduced from 100 to 60 health over 10 seconds, up from 5 seconds. Her slow orbs area of effect was reduced by 30%, and her barrier orbs wall now has halved health in the first 3 seconds after its cast. Overall, this makes her worse as both a healer and as a delayer, which are supposed to be her strengths. On offense, she'll be much less useful as well, since you'll no longer be able to pull off plant strategies that revolve around the wall since it will melt like butter during non-pistol rounds. I already said it, Sage is B tier, somewhere between Killjoy and Reyna. Before we go on, I want to thank you guys for checking out this video. Be sure to subscribe to our channel and click or tap that bell to get notified about our latest videos. Also, hit that like button. This lets us know that you want to see more content just like this. Let's go ahead and look at Sova now. Sova is one of the best scouts in the game due to his ability to find and hunt down his enemies. With his bow and arrows that can be bounced off walls, he's able to strike from creative angles that other agents can't. His skills offer a great amount of versatility regardless of whether he's attacking or defending. So he's a well-rounded agent that can fit into almost any team comp. Sova provides a ton of useful capabilities, such as his drone that can be used to scout and lead pushes onto his site, and his recon dart that can reach and scout angles that even Cypher can't. If you're wondering why he isn't S tier, his quality as an agent changes based on the map he's on, whereas Brimstone and Cypher are more universal. For this reason, we've got Sova in the A tier. Viper received a ton of buffs back in patch 1.08, but she wasn't really making a mark in pro play just yet. Overall though, many felt that she was very close to being viable. Viper should be much easier to play around now and won't require as much practice coordination with her team, so we can expect more players to try her out, but we'll have to see if she makes any lasting claim in the meta. She also has unique strategies on offense since she can set up her wall in advance to set up instant rush executes and other tactics. Viper is the only agent on our list that falls in the C tier. And those are our rankings, guys. Which agents would you move up or down? Let us know in the comments down below. Check out our other videos and be sure to subscribe and turn on that bell to be notified about our latest videos.